Hey everyone, Maybe400 here with more Yoshi story. This level I have mixed feelings on. Well, actually no, not mixed feelings, but there's a little... I mentioned I was going to say this, but I'm going to say it again. Or I mentioned I was going to say this again on Thursday in this episode, so I'm going to say it. I enjoy this level. I think this is probably my favorite castle. It's overall pretty well designed, and it's also the only castle where I can get a good chunk of melons, which if you'll see, I get a good chunk of... Sorry, a good chunk of melons. I don't get all of them. I almost could have, but anyway, I had mixed feelings about this level because again I mentioned my controller issue, and I with the controller I have the one that isn't the third party one, I can barely like float. Like I had so much trouble trying to do this part, but while I'm fine with the third party controller in this area. I have trouble ducking, and there's some buzzsaws and stuff later on, and it makes it really hard to get by unless you take damage. And then there's just one area I'll show you at the end, which really, that was where I always died. So eventually I decided to just not do it. I wasn't even going for all the melons in the beginning because I didn't want to do all the surprise boxes, because some of those have melons in them. But I got a little bit less than I probably could have, possibly. I don't know, I did pretty good. Melons are in pretty easy places. There's no mini games, so there's no melon mini games to worry about. Yeah, and maybe it wasn't even just my controller, because part of it was, as you'll see later, the area I was talking about. I'll mention it later because I really. Oh no, I'll mention it now. There's this flame guys near the end of the level, and for whatever reason, whenever I moved to the maybe I was supposed to stay back a little, and stay back near the back one, not the front one. But they wouldn't move, and then I get stuck, and you'll see it later. I'll describe it later. But it was just frustrating. As you'll see, I'll be getting tons of melons in this level. This is probably the closest I'll be doing an all melons run, but it's not. My intention for this Let's Play was never to do an all melons run, just to show off all the levels. Let's grab these melons. Everyone loves it. Does anyone hate melons? No one should hate melons. Melons are melons. They're awesome. But this is overall great level design. The lava can be a bit annoying, but nowhere near as annoying as Ghost Castle. God, I hate that level. That level is the reincarnation of... I'm trying to think of the most vile creature on the face of the planet. I don't know. There's the obvious answer, and then there's another. I'm trying to think of a funny answer, and I can't. I don't know. Shadow Mario 41. I don't know. Now he gets enough mentions. It's a reincarnation of the Pasta King. Anyway. These are slugs, and I messed up here. Sometimes I did better, but you have to make sure not to waste any eggs, because there's 2 slugs, and if you want to get all the hearts, you have to kill these slugs. If you kill one and come back, only one will be there, but they take 3 hits each, and you just have to blind them, basically. But as you mess up, you have to go back here, use the tool up, and then grab more eggs. I sometimes did it perfectly, and then again, some of the tries I did, I messed up on. Yeah, I want to mention that, and again, this is basically, I did this in Minish Cap when I did my Let's Play Minish Cap, but I've been even thinking more about it because I'm doing animation right now, right? I'm doing animation, and we're doing Summer Project, and one thing that's even more apparent is music really does play a really huge impact. Maybe more in movies than in games, but I still think it makes a big impact on games. And it really does affect it, because you could play a game without any sound on and just play the gameplay, and you'll still enjoy it. But even though you'll still enjoy it, the music just it makes the game much better. It exemplifies the emotion. It just overall makes the game more enjoyable. And it's even more of a huge impact in movies, animations, TV, all of that. It's just music really does it. Because like I'm thinking of animations that we're doing, and some of them I was like thinking about like some of the animations some of my fellow classmates are doing, and they were when I was thinking about their ideas, I was like, well, this sounds great, but are they gonna have, what kind of music are they gonna have? And part of me like for mine, I'm like, well, I could just download something, but I almost want to make my own soundtrack because the music is going to, it's just, it's going to impact the emotion you feel about it. And if you copy something, sure, but you had to have the right mode. It's almost like you have to compose to your piece to what you're doing. Like, I would love to be a composer. I would love to be a composer. Again, I would love to be a voice actor. I'm not really talented in that area. I'm good at enjoying music and good at hearing. Like, I could be a music critic, but that's a boring job to an extent. It's maybe fun, but I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I also wouldn't mind being a writer, but I can't. Grammar is horrible, though I guess if I had an editor, I could be a writer. Yeah, here's the whole ducking issue. I couldn't duck under those spikes, but it gets horrible later. And look, it's the Pasta King. Yeah, I don't know. I made K-Man, a Neuron, Pasta King's an attack sack. Yep. But she's still working on the Ogre Battle. Should probably check him out, maybe. I don't know. So, yeah, the attack sacks are pretty annoying. They're just these gigantic balls that you have to dodge, and they'll damage you. They're only in this level, though. Here's more of these bat things. Kill all 4 of them to get a heart. There we go. I said, and make sure, I didn't mention this, but make sure you do activate the warp, because while you technically could get back here, well, I don't know, because the dragon's gonna be gone. So yeah, make sure to. I think the dragon's gonna be gone. So anyway, make sure to activate the warp, or else you can't get that heart. So if you don't activate the #1 warp, you're screwed. But yeah, just music. It just influences emotion, influences everything, and like this game, if this level had no music, for example, if I was just playing just the sound effects, or if it had like something, the impact, like this is a very quiet kind of like classical theme. If it was something different, if it was techno, it's not necessarily gonna be bad, but it's gonna change the entire mood of the castle. Like right now, it's kind of got a mysterious kind of creepy, kind of delicate feel to it to an extent. But if you put techno in here, it changes the whole feel of the level. I mean, music really does make a difference. And that's the one thing my thing is, with games, like a lot of the shooter genres, they don't tend to have music, they tend to have just kind of, environmental noises, because you don't usually, for realism, you don't have music playing, during environments, but part of it is, I think that also hurts. It hurts the game to an extent, because, I mean, like movies, you have, like, this dramatic soundtracks during moments. You know what I'm saying? Like, music dramatifies certain events. And granted, during certain events in movies, you're not going to have music playing. I mean, musicals, for example, not necessarily in the mode I'm in terms of emotion, but musicals, of course, people aren't going to go up and sing, but it's not like the music necessarily doesn't denote realism, as in if the music's playing in something, like everything in the game has to be realistic, meaning like if I was playing a game and music played, then that wouldn't make sense because the music doesn't play randomly in real life. But the thing is, games aren't real life. I'm thinking that people need to stop getting hung up over trying to make things realistic and try and make things, you know, go back to being more, you know, impact emotion. If you're trying to make realism, what's the point of having reality then? If you're trying to create a reality, you know, I don't know. Here's the flame guy, and I'm trying to make sense, but sometimes I lose track of thought. I hope that you guys get what I'm saying, though. I sometimes wonder if I'm making any sense to myself. So yeah, right here is the flame guy. I'm not even sure how. I guess maybe you had to stay near the back and the front guy will go. I couldn't figure it out. I think that might be, and maybe that was my major issue, is that I was staying near the front. But anyway, that's the end of that. I'm going to speed up the music for the Bowser battle, because I did have to go a little bit over. Also, though, the Baby Bowser battle is really awesome sped up. I said this already. It just sounds great sped up. But yeah, I guess, like, would a shooter make sense having... I guess here's the thing, like, Metroid Prime has music that plays during areas in a sci-fi tone. If you had, like, that kind of dramatic feel for shooters, you could still make it work. It wouldn't feel out of place or anything to have music playing during the game that was kind of in the mode. if you did the music for that piece, you could easily make a shooter, like a war shooter that had good music. I think that I mean, I think that that would make the game better, in my opinion. Maybe people would disagree and say, no, no, it's great. Yay, environments. But I don't know. That's really all the time I have. This has been Mega Freak 400. I got a ton of points because of the melons in that level, and I got a new highest score. I bet you're not going to guess what my name is. Bacon. This has been Mega Freak 400 reminding you to go eat some bacon.